and this year's Money Talk. Thanks for tuning in to Black Video News. It's time for Money Talks, and it does talk. Joining me today, my first guest. I'm always excited about having a conversation and finding out what CPS Energy is doing here in San Antonio. And it's always a pleasure to have a conversation with Mr. James Macy. What's going on, James? How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Mr. Scott. How are you?
Man, it's always a pleasure to see you, sir. Let my listeners know. Tell them who you are, sir.
Yes, sir. So I represent CPS Energy. My title is that of Manager of Business Administration for supply chain. We focus on everything from, of course, everyone turns on the lights. They got the gas flowing. That's us. So anything you can imagine that is required to keep your lights on and put those poles up, get those wires distribution from the power generation plants that we have into your home, that's us. It takes a monumental effort to keep those things going. So with that, there's a lot of spend. We're here talking about money. Let me throw out a couple figures. We got $612 million spent this fiscal year in local vendors because we're trying to focus on making sure those dollars it takes to maintain our operations stay local. And with that, we got about $387 million just with diverse firms. So looking to make sure that those folks who come out and do the service that, again, keeps the lights on and gas flowing, they look like us. They're from our community.
Yeah, I like that. Some great numbers for our small businesses. One of the things that I want to ask too, and I'll be asking pretty much everyone this question today because this is a small business conference. Shout out to Swimby and Renee Watson for doing this.
Can't say enough.
23 years putting this in the community of San Antonio. How can small businesses do business with CPS?
Yeah, that's
James?
An excellent question, sir. So thank you for pointing out that we do bring numbers. We try and make sure that we're ready for all these conversations. The most important thing is we got to know who you are. So here we are talking about money, right? But what folks can't see is further on up the way, we have a booth present at this conference. We're always out in the community. We got about 160 outreach events that we've conducted. We're just trying to find the folks who do the business, who supply the goods, who can give us the services. We need to know who you are. You need to register with us. It's one thing for me to stand here and to tout numbers, but if I can't have a direct conversation with you, I can't go into a contract with you. I can't discuss, negotiate, talk to you about our scopes that we need. We need to have a conversation with these vendors. So we do things like this event that we're at. Of course, we'll never turn down an opportunity to speak with you, Mr. Scott, but
yes, sir.
Any opportunity we have to talk directly to our vendors, say, come register with us. That's what they need to do. They need to come register with us. They can go to our website, cpsenergy.com. They can see active bid opportunities. But if they register directly with us as a supplier, which you can get there within 3 clicks of our website, we'll contact you to say what we have coming down the way for bid opportunities. We just need to know what you sell. It starts with the conversation. It ends with you registering as a supplier, and hopefully it results to money talking.
Well, James, does CPS offer any classes or training for somebody that a small business that may fit the criteria with some of the programs that CPS is offering for small businesses?
Really appreciate you asking that question, sir. So we actually, a two-pronged approach here. Anyone who wants to come meet with us directly, we're willing to have a direct conversation and train you directly on the spot there. We'll bust out laptops, we'll bring iPads, whatever we got to do to make sure you know exactly what we need from you, and we can have that conversation about your business scope, your capabilities, and again, we'll make sure that translates into registering as a supplier. But in terms of training, direct training, we're offering a course starting in January, once a month. It'll be virtual, so we're not going to pull away from your operations, where you can sit down in front of a computer and hear from us directly as we walk you through the registration process. That's going to happen mid-month, every month, starting in January.
Okay, great. There's some training, there's some classes out there. Is CPS hiring, too, because this city is growing, James. We're seeing the population. We're seeing it not just with the highways, the overcrowd, but what's CPS offering for those that may want to be employed with you all?
Man, another great question, sir. So you've heard the term, it takes a village. Imagine it takes a colossal effort to keep the lights on and the gas flowing. So everything from our power plants up through and including positions like mine, which are more administrative and clerical, to make sure that we're negotiating contracts and talking to folks directly, outreach type positions. We hire, we employ more than 3,200 folks at any given time. We're getting ready for retirements. We always have positions posted on our website, again, cpsenergy.com. We anticipate that we're looking at maybe 10 to 20% of our folks retiring within the next 3 years. There's going to be a lot of positions opening up because we're a family CPS Energy. We take care of our customers just like we take care of our own employees, treat them like family, so they stick around for a while. They've been there for a minute. So frankly, what we're looking at is within the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be replacing about 10, 20% of our folks. So yes, sir, there will be significant opportunity for employment.
Yeah. 3-4 years ago, James, we had a snowstorm here, and I'm kind of just going to go off the tread for a minute. And I had a conversation with our mayor, Mayor Ron Nuremberg, talked about, how CPS prepared for any emergencies with weather, any drastic weather this year? I know there's something that was implemented. Can you touch on that and let my viewers know if there's something implemented in case we get a snowstorm?
Sure, absolutely. So since that event, Storm Uri, has occurred, we've spent significant funding in resiliency and operations of our grid. A lot of folks pay attention now where they did not before to ERCOT notifications, ERCOT warnings. We're doing more to communicate to the public, our ratepayers especially, what's coming down the way for weather. That does not mean that we're concerned. We are ready. We've done a lot of things to insulate. We've made sure that we have reclosers in place. We've made sure that we have plans in place to isolate outages where they occur. As a whole, we are in a much stronger position today than we were back then.
Okay.
Because of not only the efficiencies we put in for installation of the lines, but also the fact that we can troubleshoot and we can address outages as they occur. We're in a much stronger position today than we were back then.
Well, that's good, James. How can small businesses get registered and get information if they're interested in trying to partner up as a small business with CPS, sir?
Yeah, again, appreciate the question, sir. So best thing for you to do is be here, frankly. But beyond this, you can go to our website, cpsenergy.com. Within 3 clicks, you can go register as a supplier. On there, you're going to see contact information for my staff. If you submit your information to register as a supplier, I'm going to invite and encourage you to contact my staff directly. There are at least 2 emails on that page where you can speak to a human about your registration, and we can start that conversation directly with the business unit. So it starts with registration. It's going to continue into a conversation, hopefully results in a contract.
James Macy, it's always a pleasure to have you here on the podium for this year's 2023 Bexar County Conference. We're going to be coming back. I got a host of people I'm going to be talking to today. So don't you all go nowhere. Stay logged on right here at BVN. It's the 2023 Bexar County Conference, and it's Money Talks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you. We're back, 2023 Bexar County Business Conference. We're live at the Freeman Coliseum. It's always a pleasure. My next guest that I'm talking to, University Health, is in the building, Miss Latifa Jackson. Miss Jackson, how have you been?
I've been great. It's been a whole year since we did this last year, and I'm super excited to be back. The conference is packed, and we are totally enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, they've got record numbers this year, Latifa. It's really interesting with vendors and people coming in. Public is here today. The public has showed up, and you can see it's crowded in here. Tell my viewers, tell us a little bit about who you are, Latifa, please.
So my name's Latifa Jackson. I am the Supplier Diversity Manager for University Health. My job is to work with SWMB vendors through the certification process and how to get contracts with University Health.
Well, you know what? That's what we're here for. So we got the right person in front of me. It's a lot of small businesses out here. A lot of major corporations are participating today in all of these different aisles. We got 5 different aisles, Latifa, and you can see all of the people here. How can small businesses get connected with University Health and some of the programs that you're offering for small businesses?
Absolutely. So one of the things, if you're not here, rush down here. We're here till 3 o'clock today. But if you can't make it to the conference today, definitely email us, supplier.diversity@uhtx.com. That's the first place to start. We can set up a capabilities meeting for I can learn a little bit more about their businesses.
Yeah.
And I can put them in contact with the right people. And, if they need additional resources, they're trying to scale their business. Definitely we partner with the MBDA, the PTACs, and all the whole UTSA resources that they can utilize.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's been a year, Latifa. Here we are, a year. It doesn't seem like time has flown since I had a conversation with you. And what's been happening with UT and the health system? We've seen some changes. COVID has allowed us to go in so many different directions. What's been going on with you all, since the last time we had a conversation?
So innovation is one of our key things at University Health as an educational institution. But as far as our numbers and our programs going, we're hitting record numbers for our program at University Health. We have a lot of construction projects. We're starting our 2 new community health hospitals that are coming up. One was awarded to Leighton Construction, and one other one was awarded to Turner, Brine, and Straight Line Management. They did
Okay.
a joint venture.
Okay.
They have a 40% goal to utilize Swimbies on their project. So there's a lot of money floating out there, and 75% goal to use local communities. We have additional projects coming up. They're at our booth if you want the whole list of them, or email me and I can definitely give them to you. I've been doing quarterly reviews
Right.
with different companies. We've been doing them virtually just where they can see the projects coming up. But we are growing at University Health.
Yeah, you see the growth, and growth means a lot of opportunity.
Yes.
Small businesses. Can you just touch on maybe a couple of programs that you've added since our last conversation? Because I know you're diversifying things.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some different programs. Let our viewers know what programs have been added with UTL.
So some of the programs I've done, I told you we're doing the quarterly reviews now. That way we can educate the community on things coming out. I'm partnering with the Alamo Black Chambers. The first quarter of this year, the second Monday of every month, we're going to be talking about our bid packages and how to understand them and going through some of those challenges that vendors have to understand them. We've done certification workshops. Certification is probably your step number one when you're doing business with the government.
Right.
And so we're partnering with the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency once a month. And we're starting to do those workshops as well to help. So there's a lot of different informational things going on. And people always know if you send me an email, I'll send you more information than you ever wanted to know. As well.
Right.
The first step is always contacting us, but we're always looking to grow. If there's something they need and they're not seeing in the community, definitely let me know. If I'm not the best point of contact for it or the subject matter expert, I can definitely connect you to somebody who is.
Yeah, are there classes and training available for some of these programs and small businesses?
Again, if you email supplier.diversity@UHTX, I add you to our newsletter. We have about 4,000 subscribers now, a little over to the newsletter. And I send it out monthly. I promise you I'm not going to send you one every day, but it keeps you up to date with our programs and upcoming activities that we're having. And you can also check our calendar at University Health, and we'll put all our programs on there. So.
All right, great. Ms. Jackson, how can they get more information if someone wants to get registered with the programs? Please let our viewers know how they can get registered and get more information as a small business.
Absolutely. So if you want to register with University Health, you can do two ways. You can Google University Health vendors, and our program will pop up. We're one of the first people you pop up when you Google it. And you can go through our third-party site, which is Bonfire, and you can register that way. If you can't find it or you want us to send you a direct link and some information, email supplier.diversity@uhtx.com, and one of our staff will definitely send you the information. We look forward to learning more about your businesses.
Ms. Jackson, it's always a pleasure. It's been a year. Hopefully, it doesn't take a year. We can have a conversation. Every Bear County. We'd love to catch up and see what University Health System is doing. I know there's a lot of growth. Thank you for sharing that information. We're live at the Freeman Coliseum. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back with my next guest. And if you got any information, she gave you the information. If you're in that demographic and you want more information, make sure you contact University Health. We'll be right back with my next guest right here on BVN. Well, welcome back to this year's business conference. We're live at the Freeman Coliseum. Well, it's time to keep this conversation going. Our facilities management, Mr. Dan Curry. Dan, this is our fourth or fifth year having a conversation about what's going on. Tell us a little bit about who you are. And I said facilities management, but tell us a little bit about you and facilities management.
Well, thank you much for having me back again.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Doing this every year.
Yes, sir.
Some outreach out there to the community, let them know how to participate in some of our work. Facilities management does several things. We maintain our facilities, but we also design and renovate our facilities as well.
Okay.
So there's construction opportunities, there's maintenance opportunities, subcontracts for power washing, window cleaning, all the soup to nuts is what we do.
Yeah. Facilities a lot in that area. Tell us a little bit about how can a small business get connected with the agency and some of those different programs that are open for these small businesses, Dan.
Right. So, well, this event specifically is a great opportunity for us to rub elbows with all those small businesses. I have a group of 5 or 6 people over in our booth right now that are meeting hundreds of vendors right now.
Right.
Getting business cards, just actually making that initial connection.
Okay.
And when they say, hey, listen, we do power washing. Hey, we got a job like that. Let me call you. Let me get a proposal from you. So a lot of those casual collisions will result in work. We also have some formal structures that we put out.
Okay.
The small business office has a CDMS campaign system where we can actually, you can register as a vendor and say, okay, if I'm interested in ceramic tile work, everything that we do that has ceramic tile work, they'll get an alert that says, hey, there's this work out here. Go look and see if it's in your wheelhouse.
Okay.
They can submit bids on that. Usually that we do stuff that's under $50,000 in that portal.
Okay.
Everything that's over $50,000, we formally bid through purchasing.
Okay.
And that usually requires additional bonds and insurance and some of those other things that are a little bit further down the capacity building road.
Yeah. Yeah, I always tell these small businesses, and you got to have everything in order. Whatever you need, right, your DBA, all of that stuff, your certifications, you got to have everything in order so that you can get these opportunities. What's been happening, man? It's been a year, Dan, since we had a conversation. Has there been any other changes or add-ons with facility management with what you're doing?
So space is a big premium now.
Okay.
So the legislation's added a probate court for us. There's a lot of interest in doing specialty courts and impact courts to
Okay.
decrease jail population, improve public safety.
Okay.
A lot of projects to go along with additional staffing for those things. So we're kind of doing this 3D puzzle around the downtown campus, trying to keep everybody in their seats. So we're moving people, we're building spaces out, we're doing renovations, carpet replacements, all that kind of stuff. And our building stock isn't new stock, it's generally older stock. So
Right.
we always have projects for replacing carpet, replacing plumbing fixtures, HVAC work, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, what's your portal to get that information out? Because I hear it a lot with small businesses and trying to take the initiative to find out, about the information, how they register.
Right.
Where are you guys getting that information out, Dan?
So we use the small business office with Bexar County quite a bit for that
Okay.
outreach. We do a quarterly forecast for them that shows, hey, this is everything that's coming out for opportunities for contracting services, construction, service contracts, everything else through them. But we also post that information on our website.
Okay.
Go to bear.org/facilities management. There's usually some PDFs there that let you know what's coming up in the next quarter or next half of the year.
Yeah, are there any training or classes available that can kind of coincide with moving into these different
So we don't have anything formal, but I will
Yes, sir.
tell you that we would love to meet with small businesses.
Okay.
Especially around the invoicing and the bid submittal
Right.
piece of that, because we know it's difficult. And the county can be a peculiar beast, right, to deal with.
Yeah.
So again, we've talked with our auditor's office about creating short videos or other training programs. Say, okay, this is what an invoice has to have in order to get promptly paid.
Right.
This is what this has to have in order to be an effective bid. So we're working with purchasing and the auditor's department on formulating some of those things. There's nothing formal yet, but I'm hoping the next few months we'll have something to share with you guys.
Yeah. Dan, have you seen any growth? Have you seen growth over the year? I mean, we were here a year ago. Have you seen any growth for our small businesses?
Well,
taking advantage.
I see it out here.
Yeah, you do.
This is a record breaker.
Yeah, it is.
It is more people than we've ever seen.
Right.
And what we're seeing is we used to get 1 or 2 people that do flooring.
Right.
Now we have guys that specialize in epoxy flooring, guys that specialize in aircraft hangar flooring.
Right.
That specificity is really encouraging to us because sometimes we need a very specific solution.
Yeah.
And we're finding those people in the open market.
Oh, good. Dan, how can they get connected? If you're a small business, Dan's going to give you this information on how you can get connected, register, and find out more about what facilities management is doing here in San Antonio.
So again, always check us out on the bear.org/facilities management website. And we'll have links there to our small business entrepreneurship program as well, where you can register as a vendor in those SWIMBY or in the CDMS outreach portal.
Yeah.
As well as purchasing, you can register as a vendor. If anybody's here or anybody's listening, registering with a vendor with Bexar County, with their purchasing, and through SWIMBY is the fastest way to get bid alerts for upcoming work.
Yeah, say that again. Please say that again,
again,
Dan,
so the
because
fastest
somebody needs to know that.
Making sure that you're registered with purchasing and with the small business office in their 2 outreach databases.
Yeah.
And they'll help you with those things. You call them and they'll help you walk you through those certifications and those databases and get you enrolled as a vendor, and then you'll start getting those bid alerts.
Dan, it's always a pleasure to find out what facility management is up to here in San Antonio. Don't you guys go anywhere. There's more with Money Talks 2023. Bexar County Business Conference. Dan, Merry Christmas to everyone at Facilities Management. And once again, it's always a pleasure seeing you.
It's all mine. See you next year.
We'll see you next year. Hey, you guys stay logged on for more right here at this business conference. We're live at the Freeman Coliseum. Informative information. If you're a small business, there's information. Get your pen and paper. Take it down. We'll be back right here on BBN. Well, we're back. This 2023 Bexar County Business Conference. It's Money Talks. Joining me today, we're getting ready to get an update on what's happening with our airport. There's a lot going on with our airport. Joining me today to talk about aviation, Miss Barbara Patton. How you doing, Barbara?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks for being on. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what your role is at the airport, Barbara.
So I'm Barbara Patton. I am the Business Opportunity and Diversity Development Manager for the airport.
Okay.
We oversee the Airport Concession Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program. That's the ACDB program, and the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program, DBE program. So those are two federal programs that we oversee that help disadvantaged businesses to get contracts at the airport. And we also have the local program with the city, the Sabeta program. We have contracts for that as well. So our job is to help small minority women-owned businesses and disadvantaged businesses try to get opportunities. We provide them with opportunities to try to work at the airport. We have millions of dollars of contracts at the airport. We're building the new terminal, so we have a lot of work coming out. So
I'm glad you touched on that, Barbara, because we've seen the growth. We know that there's a lot of growth at our airport. We really have outgrown it, but, you know, the airport is still beautiful. Tell us a little, just in depth, how businesses can get registered or be a part of some of the programs that you're offering at the airport.
So they need to register with the city of San Antonio as a vendor.
Okay.
So that's the first step, is to register with the city of San Antonio as a vendor. They could go to the city of San Antonio.gov website, and you'll see how to register with the city as a vendor.
Yeah, so there's a lot of money out there, huh?
Yes.
This is Money Talks. You hear that? There's a lot of money out there available for you small businesses. You got to get registered, get everything in order. Is there any classes or training that the airport is offering for small businesses that may want to get some of this money?
Not any training, but they can contact us. We're more of a referral.
Okay.
So if they send an email to BODD, that's Business Opportunity Diversity Development at sanantonio.gov, we can send them information on how to get certified, how to register, and a list of our upcoming projects that we have.
Thank you, Barbara. It's always a pleasure to see what's going on. And I know Tanya couldn't be here today. Courtney McClure, and thank you for filling in for Courtney not being here today and giving us an update on what's going on at the airport.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Hey, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back here with Money Talks. We're live at the Freeman Coliseum. It's going down. You better get registered, but we'll be right back. There's some more interviews and more information for you small businesses. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Money Talks. Well, we're back, Bexar County Business Conference 2023. And yes, I definitely got to have a conversation. Let's get caught up with what's going on with Alamo Colleges. Mr. Torrance White, man, what's going on, sir?
I'm doing all right, sir. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing well. It's good to see you, sir.
Good to see you as well.
How you been, man?
I can't complain. I'm doing good, man.
Good. Tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and what you do, sir.
So my name is Torren Anderson. I'm with Alamo Colleges. I'm their swimming contract coordinator.
Okay.
Basically, I help with vendor registration as well as building our outreach efforts for diversity and inclusion. We're trying to work with different small businesses, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, as well as veteran-owned businesses.
Yeah, that's good for my viewers to know. You guys heard that, right? Veterans, small businesses. You know, how can a small business, actually get connected with what Alamo Colleges is doing as a vendor?
Yeah, so what they can do is they can go to our website at alamo.edu/purchasing. That's where they can see our current bids as well as our past bids. Now, if they're trying to get registered as a vendor with Alamo Colleges, they can contact me by email or by phone, and they can also register online at a certain website. It's a pretty long website and everything. I don't know if I need to share it on here. But
but you can if you want. You can.
So the website to get registered with Alamo Colleges is alamo.diversitycompliance.com. I like to think it's a pretty simple process, but I understand if it could be difficult for some, and that's where I'm available to help you out if you're having trouble getting registered and everything, just to walk you through the steps and everything. So there's times where, I've been on the phone with someone for 20 minutes just walking them through the application step by step and everything. So that's what my job entails, and that's what I'm there for, to help you all out, to help you get through the process and everything.
Yeah. Courtney, what type of...
Courtney? Who's Courtney?
Courtney, what type of... Torrance, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Torrance.
Okay.
What type of avenues and different departments are open, Torrance, for small businesses?
Yes. So we have our SWIMBY program, but we also have our Skills for Small Business. That is a department that helps. Let's say you've done electrical work for 20 years.
Okay.
And now you're a business owner. And so now you have to learn how to be a business owner.
Right.
That's where the Skills for Small Business comes into play. They show you how to put together a business plan or how to write a proposal. They'll show you how to even get up to date on OSHA, because you're going to need to know about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So even how to negotiate, different kinds of stuff, how to work with public agencies like Alamo Colleges or the county, the city.
Yeah.
So they try to help you fine-tune your business, so in a way to help you adjust from being an electrician to now being a business owner.
Yeah.
And we also have our Economic and Workforce Development Department, and in that they have a mentor protege program that's in partnership with the city of San Antonio, and that's called Business Empowerment San Antonio. We just call it B San Antonio.
Okay.
So there's a couple avenues for small businesses besides getting registered, but we also have some departments that also help small businesses.
Yeah, that was my next question, Torrance, but you touched on it. I wanted to know, how do, with a small business, are there classes, are there registration? But you kind of touched on that. There's some availability for people, and it seems like there's some classes that teach them step by step how to follow the process.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we also partner with some other agencies like the UTSA Hub program, as well as the city of San Antonio, where we do a quarterly workshop on just different areas of business. So because we started doing this sometime around early in the pandemic in 2020.
Yeah.
We would just do it quarterly, and first it would be maybe hearing from some of the different public agencies, and then maybe hearing from some of the different general contractors who work with the different subcontractors, what they look for. And that's where coming into play, how to write a proposal.
Yeah.
And we have one coming up on January 10th where it's going to be called The Pitch, Developing the Sale, where we're going to have a panel of different small business owners that are going to just talk about how to sell yourself as a business and how to further grow yourself so you're more competitive with all these public contracts.
Yeah, I like that, Torrance, because here we are, we're talking to Alamo Colleges, but yet there is some schooling for these small businesses.
Yes, sir.
So you guys are kind of coincide with, educating the small business, how you can take these steps to get these contracts. Anything new happening with Alamo Colleges? Here we are, a year from our last conversation.
Yes.
Let's just give us an update on what's been happening, because Alamo Colleges is spread out through San Antonio.
Yes.
There's a lot of different campuses.
Right.
What's new with Alamo Colleges, from the year that we had a conversation?
Yeah, so with Alamo Colleges, for those that don't know, Alamo College District is the umbrella that covers 5 colleges, which include St. Philip's College, San Antonio College, Northwest Vista College, Palo Alto, and Northeast Lakeview.
Okay.
And then we also have about 6 or 7 education and training centers. And so that's stuff that's available to the community.
Okay.
Not just for businesses, but even for those that are trying to expand their education. And so we recently did some groundbreaking ceremonies for our West Side Education and Training Center. And we also had one for the Southside Education Training Center. And we're going to be opening up another training center out near the Bernie area, and that'll be the Northwest Education and Training Center. And as far as our SWIMBY outreach, we improved our percentage, our outreach efforts from 38% to 46%. In the last year and everything.
Yeah.
So that's something we're definitely, that's something we're really proud about and everything. And of course, we know we can always continue to strive to do better and everything, because there's so many minority-owned businesses, small businesses, women-owned businesses that are out there that have yet to work with some of the public agencies.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you touched on that. For you small businesses out there, man, if you want to work with Alamo Colleges, if that's your demographic, Torrance, how can they get connected with you?
Yes. So you
Let's
can,
give them that long web.
I know,
Give that long website information again.
yeah. So to get connected with Alamo colleges, you can go to alamo.edu/purchasing. Now, to get registered as a vendor, you can go to alamo.diversitycompliance.com. If you just want to, cut all that out of the way and just contact me, you can email me at twhite85@alamo.edu. And that's pretty much ways you can get contact with either me or Alamo colleges.
Yeah, you guys got it. Alamo colleges. Shout out to Dr. Lawson over at St. Philip's College, Dr. Crockett. Those are my people over there. I just want to say Merry Christmas to them. St. Philip's, one of the oldest HBCU schools. Torrance, I love what you guys are doing. Keep up the great work. Hopefully, we don't have to take a year to have a conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And see what the growth is with Alamo colleges.
Yes,
Let me just ask you quickly: are we seeing more kids leaning towards going to one of these campuses this year?
From what I understand, we've had an increase from 60,000 to 70,000.
Okay.
So we're still growing.
There's some growth with the students.
And we're definitely still growing, and there's a lot more construction going on in all the colleges and everything, so we're still growing.
Yeah, still growing, so there's availability, not for just students,
right,
for you small businesses. Thank you, Torrance.
Thank you.
And I'm talking to a lot of people, so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know. That sounds like Courtney.
Yeah, I'm talking to a lot of people, but no, it's a pleasure. Thank you. Keep up the great work at Alamo Colleges, 5 different campuses. Hey, it's Money Talks. The money's out there. You just got to get all of your ducks lined up, get everything in a row, that you can be a part of just bidding on these jobs, these opportunities. If you're a small business, stay logged on for more. There's some more dialogue and conversation with this 2023 Bear Business Conference. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thanks. Hey, we're back. Money Talks. Yes, this conversation and dialogue is still going. We're here live at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, 2023 Bexar County Business Conference. Joining me today with my another dialogue and conversation, Mr. Ken McLaramy, Parks and Recreation, Bexar County Bear Heritage, right?
A little bit Bexar County Parks and Recreation, but we do have the heritage component.
Yes, Director joining me right now.
Yes, sir.
How you been, Ken?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, Ken. We see a lot of different development here. Tell my viewers a little bit about who you are, Ken.
Well, I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation, and we're kind of new in the county. We're this coming up in February. We'll be actually 3 years old. Okay. We stood up the recreation side of it.
Right.
One of the things that, as most people know, that the county parks were neglected for years, and during COVID, the whole nation saw an uptick in park use, and our Commissioner's Court saw a good value into funding the parks properly.
Right.
And so we got about $74 million of capital funding to actually improve them. To what we need, that's a drop in the bucket, but it's a good place to start.
Did you hear that number? $74 million out there. Money talks. That's a lot of money out there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What are you doing? How can a small business do business with Parks and Rec? And I'm glad you touched on that. Before we go into that question, because it always amazes me that kind of money was allocated in parks, and we saw an uprise in people in parks and kids during COVID
during
COVID?
Yes, sir.
Really, we did?
Yeah. Well, because you know how everything was locked down, and so people rediscovered their families, and they said, where can we go? We can't go here, we can't go there. We can go to an open air area.
Okay.
And so they would go to the parks.
Okay.
And so our picnic tables got really used, and people were all over the place.
I'm glad to hear that, man, because, we don't see a lot of kids playing in the parks like we used to. That's always been a question of mine. I see a lot of different parks in development that are taking place, and you said it. There are a lot of parks that needed some renovation, and that's across the board when we say across the country. But how can small businesses get connected with what Parks and Rec is doing?
Well, the first thing they need to do, no matter if I love what they do, the county can't write them a check unless they're registered with purchasing.
Right.
And then once they do, get that registered, get that vendor number, and paint theirself with a broad brush on their NAICS codes. Because when things go out to the street, that's the system sends it out that way.
Yeah.
But for smaller things, stop by our booth. Come by, look at our website, email me, and I'll get you in contact with our project manager. We do things that sometimes small things within less than $50,000 that we'll put out straight to vendors, straight to small business. And we prefer small business because, if you have a concrete company or if you have a pest control company, I talk to you, and I know I get better service because you're trying to put food on the table. And that's the type of service we need, because we're agile and we have to respond to our clients and customers quickly. So we need that type of service. We prefer small business much more over the big guys.
Wow, I like that, Ken, and I'm quite sure a lot of our viewers like that too. Touching right directly with a business owner, having direct contact with some of these small businesses, that's great. Have you seen, have we seen a lot of different small businesses over the year register or, get some of these different contracts that are available within the last year?
Yes, we have. We generally, some of the big guys really get a lot of the things, but underneath that are a lot of the smaller ones.
Okay.
Now, we do have from time to time, we have emergency issues that roll up, and we want to contact those guys directly.
Okay.
Excuse me, and try to get that service that way.
Yeah, that's good, Ken. For a small business, let me just say this too. Are there any classes or registration available when we talk about getting some of these different?
I'm not sure. I'm sure that Renee Watson and her team in the small business department for the county, they do a phenomenal job on things. And excuse me, and they can get y'all spun up on almost everything that needs to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ken, how can they get connected with Parks and Recreation and the Bear Heritage thing? Because you're partnering up. Give me a little idea what the Bear Heritage is.
Well, the Bear Heritage is we manage and protect the cultural assets within the county.
Okay.
A lot of people, there's a lot of history here. Precursor to the Alamo, the battle that happened before the Alamo there was recruitment for the siege of Bear in Covington Park that's off of Rigsby.
Okay.
And so people don't know that. We have a monument there.
Never knew that.
Never knew that. And also, too, there's a guy named Hendrick Arnold, okay? He was one of the guys, and he was married to the daughter of Orestes Smith, there's a county named after him.
Okay.
From this area. He rode with them.
Wow.
So all those things happen right here in the county. And in some of our parks. So that's what the heritage side does of it. We also have something called the Bear Heritage Center, which is in downtown in the courthouse.
Right.
That is a museum that talks about the origins of Bear County and some of the things that the county government does.
Yeah.
And so that's free and open to the public,
Yeah, preserving these trees. Don't be trying to go up in there and cut the wrong stuff down, right?
Now yes, we don't cut trees down unless Barbara says it's dead. That's for sure. We like trees in the parks. We got to have trees in the park.
Yes, we do.
Especially
Ken,
in this Texas heat.
I'm excited about, people going back to parks. I did not know that percentage that went up. I ride by, look at parks. It was one of the things that we did. But we do have some amazing parks here in San Antonio. We do.
We like everybody to come on out. Currently, one of our big projects we're doing, it's not far from here, Splits Park.
Okay.
We're doing the second half of that renovation. There's already a contract in place, but there's going to be other things that we can do that, that we're probably going to need. Some of those are pilot programs in there. We designed a new, it's a picnic table pad with shade.
Okay.
And so we're going to do one or two of those and see how the public likes it. But then we're going to, we need a small contractor to come out and do one or two or three of those at a time. In various other places. So that's happening in Pletz Park right now, not far from here.
Yeah, on the east side of San Antonio. I do know where Pletz Park is. They have an amazing bike trail. That's one of the things I love about the parks, too. There's some, are you guys affiliated with some of the bike trails that are going up?
Yes, we work on part of that's the CIP, the trails, the Creeks and Trails program is a collaboration between us, the City of San Antonio, and San Antonio River Authority. And so it's, of course, the county funds 95% of it, but we get together and we work it, and sometimes it goes through our properties, and we may have trailheads within our parks. And going forward, every one of our parks, we're going to make sure that we have a loop within our park that's going to end in a quarter mile or a half mile or something like that for the walkers and the joggers and the runners, so that you can come through our park and don't have to keep on going down the trail if you don't want to. We're going to make sure it's all connected.
Isn't that amazing? Because San Antonio goes in a loop.
Yes, it does.
On the highways, and now you guys are doing it in the parks.
With the whole CIP trail, we're almost connected on some of those. There's a few spots that you should be able to go all the way from Raymond Russell Park far north, all the way to Rodriguez Park far south,
right,
without stopping. we have a few sections that need to be done, but we're getting there.
All right. Well, thank you, Ken. Great information about what Parks and Recreation is doing here in San Antonio. If that's your demographic, make sure you look at this, take slow, get that pen and paper, write this information down. Ken, we love what you guys are doing. Merry Christmas to all of your staff in Parks and Recreation, and you all have a wonderful holiday season.
Merry Christmas to you too, Keith. I appreciate you having us on, and come on out to the parks. We love it when people come to the parks.
Yeah, I'll be out there. I'll be riding my bike through them parks. I love to get on that bike. Thank you. We'll be back. It's Money Talks 2023 Bexar County Business Conference. Don't go anywhere. There's some more information for you guys. Stay logged on for more. We're back, 2023 Bexar County Business Conference. Now, you know I got to have a conversation with the road runners and what road runners UTSA is doing. Mr. Bruce Williams, what's going on, Bruce?
Not much, not much. Thank you for having me.
Man, you got the you got the UTSA on. What's going on, man? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do over at UTSA.
Definitely. So I'm Bruce Williams. I'm over the hub program and purchasing there. So I've been doing this for about 16 years now.
16 years,
16
Bruce?
years.
Man,
I have
you
8
know.
years at UTSA.
What?
1 year at Alamo College. 3 years at UT Southwestern Medical Center. And
Okay.
then 6 at UT Health Science
Man,
Center.
you don't even look. You don't look like you got that many years, Bruce.
Hey.
That's awesome, man. Tell us a little bit more in depth about what you do over at UTSA for somebody that may not know what the Hub program is. Kind of just break it down and let us know what's going on with the Hub program over there.
Definitely. So I'm the Hub vendors liaison.
Okay.
Right? I'm their avenue. I like to call it the bridge. I'm their bridge to be able to understand opportunities, how to work with the university,
Right.
how to actually obtain the actual contracts,
Okay.
and also understand information if they didn't win the contracts, how to debrief them, make sure that they learn and develop so that when they do win, they know the whole process from beginning to end.
Yeah. How can a small business get connected with some of the opportunities over at UTSA?
Definitely. So all of our opportunities are going to be on our website.
Okay.
So you go to our website, you go to current bid opportunities, you'll find it there. Also, if you come to our booth, we have a QR code and it'll take you directly to the actual opportunities and also information so that you can request one-on-one meetings with us, virtual meetings.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. UTSA, big fan. I got to go to a game this year.
Okay, nice.
And went to Rice when they played Rice.
You went to a good game.
Yeah, that was a blowout. They beat up. Well, it wasn't really a blowout, but it was a good game. Have we seen a lot of different diversity taking place over at UTSA with some of the programs that are available?
We definitely have. Not only with the UTSA Hub program there, we've ranked top 10 at the top ranked Hub percentages throughout the last 8 years that we've been there. So there's a lot of diversity there. There's a lot of diversity in the departments at the university now, too. So just as a whole, the culture at UTSA has always been about diversity and inclusion, just from the grassroots up with what we started and what we continue to do.
Yeah, we've seen some amazing things take place at UTSA. I love the facility for the athletes, the training facilities, the money that they have put into it for the football team. A lot of the different athletes, man. Is there more growth at UTSA? Because we're seeing it all around San Antonio.
Growth is coming. It's still going to come. There's more coming down. I'm waiting for us to dip our toe into esports. That may be a keeper right there. But the growth, the things we're doing for the community, the things we're doing for these students and the athletes, trust me, it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, are we seeing a more of a diversity when it comes to students too as well, coming from all different parts of the region and the country?
All different parts of the region, country, even from South Texas all the way to Houston. We're acquiring students from other places where they would normally go to other big name colleges. They're coming to UTSA. And I think it's because of the classroom setting, right?
Right.
It's more of a family style setting where it's not a million kids in there, but we may have 100 and 150, but they know their professors. They understand them. They have personal interactions with them.
Yeah. You see it different in the culture when we talk about that? Is it the culture at UTSA?
I think it is the culture. That's the whole culture behind us doing so well in my program is the culture of the individuals in which we hire and understanding the program. So the culture is not only on the athletic side, it's the department side. It's everywhere. It's what we live and die on. It's the culture that we bring not only to the community, but to the organization and the students.
Yeah, the Roadrunners, your football coach is doing an amazing job. He is a great guy. I got to get more in depth with what about your basketball team?
You need to come check out the basketball. Matter of fact, I'm going to personally send you some tickets to come check out the basketball team. And not just the men's, the women basketball team.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Oh, man, they got a squad.
They do. I
would
like to
come check it out.
Yeah, I would like to see that because I'm a big fan of women's basketball, not just the men's basketball, but I do love the culture, what's going on at UTSA. Is there any classes or training for these small businesses?
Definitely. So UTSA is like the one-stop shop, right? So not only do you have the understanding of doing business with us as a university through the Hub program, we also have like the CGC, the Center for Contracting Government. They provide the actual service to review your bids, to do things like that. Then we have the SBDC, which is a whole nother organization under the IEC that helps with business advisement, business developments. They review business plan, help for access to capital, help acquiring insurance to certain bonds in the capacity that you need. So even if you just thought of your business name, you could come to UTSA and there's somebody there to help you get that started in that process.
Bruce.
If you've been in business for 100 years, we're here to help you come contract with us as an organization.
That's great, Bruce. Thank you for sharing all of that informative information. We're big fans, UTSA doing their thing, and I'm just going to throw it up. And, they're doing their thing here in San Antonio, Texas. How can they get registered for more information before we get...
So more information with us, just come to our website or email me at bruce.williams@utsa.edu. I'll be able to help you get everything set up. So all the information is always online, but if you need me, I'm here and my team.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. Merry Christmas to everyone, students and faculty over at UTSA. You guys are doing an amazing job. We'll be back, man. It's Money Talks right here, 2023 Barrett County Business Conference. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, Bruce. Merry Christmas.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. We'll be back right here, Money Talks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey, before we wrap up with this year's 2023 Barrett County Business Conference, I always like to have a conversation with some of our business owners. Joining me today to talk about his construction company, and yeah, he's an Omega. I just got to throw that in. Mr. Joe Monroe, tell us a little bit. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, great, Scott. Good to meet you, man. Good to see you.
Man, good to see you, too, during these holiday seasons, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about Joe Monroe and the name of your company, what you do here in San Antonio, Joe.
Oh, okay. My company is Consolidated Installation Support Construction, CIS, LLC. We do a lot of work on the commercial side right now.
Yeah.
We're completing a project over at the Alamo Dome. We're a subcontractor on the Turner Construction. And we're also doing a big project at the Killeen Airport in Killeen, Texas, Killeen Fort Cavazos Airport. They're building a new hangar, and we're doing all of the concrete for it. And matter of fact, we got a big pour tomorrow morning starting at 3 a.m. We're pouring about 40 trucks of concrete.
Wow, so you're going to be out there with the hard hat on.
Oh, yeah.
Man, how long has CIS been around, Joe?
Well, we started in 2007.
Okay.
And we just kind of laid dormant a little bit, getting all our foundations together and all of that, all of our certifications and everything. And probably around 2009, we started taking on projects.
Yeah. What are some of the things, because here we are 2023 and 2023, and you've been in business for quite some time. What are some of the things and components that you have used to excel? And have you actually gotten any contracts from some of these conferences that take place?
Yes, and I'll tell anyone that this is the best place to start.
Okay.
Because they have all of the heavy hitters here, all of the big construction companies, networking, communication companies, everything. So whatever business you're in, this is the best place to start because you got everybody here right at your fingertips, and they got all of their how to do business with us, and as long as you follow the blueprint, you're good. And yes, I have gotten contracts from these events, and that's why I'm part of it. And and I come every year and and get contracts.
Yeah, Joe, quickly, what have been some of the key components with your business over the years that has allowed you to see growth?
starting out with the SCTRCA, that's the South Central Texas Registration Agency.
Okay.
Getting registered with them is free. Only thing you got to do is do the application and submit the documentation that they're asking for, and you get certified as a small business entity, minority business entity, Hispanic, woman-owned, and that starts the ball rolling right there.
Yeah, how can they get connected with CIS and your construction company with somebody out there that may want to ask the question or even, your services?
Yeah, they can contact us at the number 210-387-0097, and they can actually speak to me, and I'll be more than happy. I'm also the president of the Black Contracts Association, that we also help small businesses grow by offering reduced classes on Microsoft Office, Excel, stuff like that, whatever that the company needs for their employees to help them move to another level.
Yeah, I'm glad you shared that, Joe. Thank you so much. Joe Monroe, CIS. I'm going to try to grab one more business owner like I like to do every year. We're going to grab one more business owner. Joe, Merry Christmas to you and all of your family and all of your workers at your company. Thanks for sharing that information.
Yes, sir, Mr. Scott, and thank you and Mr. Booker for what y'all are doing at Black Video News and everything that you guys are doing in the community, because it helps us out.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hey, we're going to come back and wrap up. I'm going to find one more business owner, and we're going to wrap up with this segment, 2023 Bexar County Business Conference Money Talks. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to find one more. Stay logged on. You all right to name it? Hey, we're wrapping up. I always like to find a business owner when I wrap up at the Bexar County Business Conference. And we're going to wrap up. I've got a business owner here. Hi, how are you doing, Shalonda?
I'm doing great, Keith. How are you?
I'm doing well. Tell us a little bit about who you are and the name of your company.
My name is Shalonda Mooney, and the name of my company is Shuni Graphics. So you take those two names and you smush them together.
Okay. Is that your last name, Shuni?
Mooney is my last name.
Okay.
Shalonda is my first name.
So you've incorporated your first and last name with your company.
Yes, I have.
Tell us a little bit about your company.
I'm a freelance graphic designer, also a production artist.
Okay.
Just an all-around artist.
Okay.
So I can help with anyone with their graphic design needs or questions.
Okay. How long you been in business, Shalonda?
I haven't been in business for very long.
Okay.
About 3 years, but I've been a graphic designer for over 20 years.
Over 20 years graphic designing. Is your business located here in San Antonio, or where are you located?
I live here in San Antonio. That's correct.
Okay.
But as a freelancer, I can work with anyone, anywhere.
Okay. What are some of the interesting designs that you feel you've accomplished and done with your business as a graphic designer?
I think the most interesting thing is in the realm of Photoshop.
Okay.
Photoshop is a big, giant piece of software, and there's all sorts of things that you can do with it, and I really love working in Photoshop. Taking a couple of pictures and mushing them together, just like I've done my name.
Okay. What about AI? Are you using AI any with your graphic designing? Because a lot of graphic designers, AI has kind of changed the game. There's a lot of discrepancy with that software, with that vehicle. Are you using AI any?
I use AI to get ideas.
Okay.
But not necessarily in terms of I produce something with AI and give it to you.
Okay.
I just use it a lot to get ideas and, just almost like I use Pinterest. Pinterest is a big board that gives me mood and color and things like that. And that's mostly what I use it for.
Yeah. Have you seen the industry change a lot in your demographic over the last, 10 years or so?
Definitely. A lot of things have changed, especially because of social media.
Yeah.
So now as a graphic designer, you really have to do it all. If you're making reels, if you're pushing out content like that, you really, there's so much now. There's so much, and you really have to wear a lot of different hats as a graphic designer.
Yeah, well, thank you for talking to me. I always like to wrap up the Bexar County Conference with a business owner. I got a male, I got a female, Shuni Graphics. How can they get connected with your business if someone is looking for a graphic designer?
Well, I'm on Instagram at Shuni Graphics, or you can go to www.SCHOONEY graphics.com.
Well, thank you, Shalonda. Shuni Graphics, it's been another awesome year. There's a lot of money available out there for you small businesses. Take advantage of it, man. Get all of your ducks lined in a row. Some of the requirements that they're asking as a small business owner to get some of these different contracts that are available to you. We'll see you next year. It's been an awesome 2023 Bexar County Business Conference. I'm your host, Keith Scott, and we'll see you next year with Money Talks. And you guys have a wonderful holiday and Merry Christmas. And also, stay logged on at BVN, go to log on, and you get this information along with Bexar County Conference. If you need information, make sure you chart those down. If you go back and look at the video, you can get some of this informative information. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year right here on Black Video News. Be encouraged.
Let the bass kick.